Alright, what's going on, guys? So it's kind of cold, so I'm gonna make this video short. Today I just want to talk about goals. Alright, so setting ridiculous goals. First things first, why are goals important, right? So I want to talk about Earl Nightingale, and I really think living your life without setting goals is just almost wasting your life away, right? Because when you don't have a set of goals, what are you doing, right? Let's see. You're just wandering through life. You're reacting to the day, what's happening to you. And instead of having a plan and a destination to go towards, you just go with the flow. And sometimes that's not bad, but living your whole life like that, I think you might end up in a place where you don't want to end up, and you're just gonna have to accept it, right? And I think if you don't want to live that life where you just take what you're given and you don't actually go for what you want and chase your dreams, you're gonna have to live a life without goals, right? And if you don't want to do that, then if you don't want that type of life, you have to have goals. You have to set goals. And a simple example that Earl Nightingale he gives is, think of goals as a captain in his ship. So a captain, he has a destination that he wants to get to, and that destination, he doesn't see it. He knows it exists, but he's not there yet. So what he ends up doing is gets in his ship, sets every single day he makes some tweaks, changes, sets the direction, speed, and by the end he ends up getting to his destination, right? It could be a couple of weeks, it could be a couple of months. He doesn't see his destination, but every day he does a consistent thing, and then eventually, after a certain amount of time, he gets where he wants to go. And just think of goals as this, right? So it's a destination, a place where you want to end up, and every day you have to have a certain action and a consistent plan that you work on, and eventually end up getting to your goal. Second is about setting ridiculous goals, right? The title of this video. What type of goals should you set? And for this, there's a line that I love by Jim Rohn that goes, set a goal that makes something of you to achieve it, right? Set a goal that's gonna expand you, that's gonna broaden your view of the world, right? By the time you achieve it. So this happened when he was talking to his mentor about his finances, and his mentor told him, why don't you set a goal to be a millionaire, right? And it's not about making $1 million, although that might sound nice. It's about the person you have to become in order to make $1 million. The skills you have to learn, right? The knowledge, the wisdom you have to gain, the action, the work you have to put in, the challenges you have to overcome. That it makes you grow, it expands you. And then I think that's one of the most important reasons for setting big goals. And on top of that, right, even if you do end up setting big goals, I think it goes aim for the moon, and even if you miss, you land among the stars, right? Even if you end up missing your goal, which we're gonna get to later, you're still gonna have something that by the end of it, you're gonna be a completely different person, so much further than where you are right now, right? You grew so much, you did so much more. All right, third is how to actually achieve your goal, right? Okay, so this is pretty simple, and this was a challenge I had for many years. I would have these amazing goals, and then a month would pass, 2 months, 6, and then a year, and by the end, I'm still the same person. I haven't done anything different. So writing your goals, having amazing goals is good, right? But then you actually have to work towards it. That's the important part. So what I started doing now is every day, the night before, or every night, I write down my next day's tasks, right? The most important task, second most important, and next day I wake up and I start working down that list. Because if not, this is an example by Brian Tracy. He says, it's like driving down a road without a steering wheel. and every single bump, every single curve sets you off course. By the end, you're gonna be in some random place, maybe crash into something. And if you live your days without a plan and tasks to actually accomplish, I think that's what's gonna end up happening, right? Every little thing that happens throughout the day takes you to a different direction. And by the end of the day, you haven't done anything important, anything that gets you closer to your goal. So yeah, I think with your goals, break them down, right? If you have a goal to be a millionaire, to make $1 million, a goal to be fit, have 6 packs, break it down, right? What comes before $1 million? 900,000. All right, go more, maybe 500,000. Break that again. 250,000, 100,000. Go down to as small as you possibly can and make plans, right? For this year, what do you have to get done? For this month, for this week, today, and break up your goal so it's actually possible for you to work towards it, right? And it's not just this big thing like out in the future that you think about, and it's something that you can consistently work towards. And that's something that helped me so much, because now I know what I'm supposed to do every day, every week. And you don't have to have the whole year mapped out, just a week, maybe a day. And another thing by Jim Rohn, he says don't start the day until you have it finished, right? Kind of goes hand in hand with setting your task. Make sure the night before you know what you're gonna do the next day. All right, next thing is, don't listen to the noise, ignore all the noise, right? Ignore the people that are gonna mock you, ignore the people that are gonna make fun of you. If you think of the Wright brothers, a book I'm reading right now, it mentions them, and people were making fun of them because a plane is this massive thing that floats in the air, and people think, like they mock them, they keep asking them, how are you gonna make this massive thing fly? It's not possible. And you have to ignore the noise, right? What you want to accomplish right now, it might sound impossible, and people are gonna mock you for it. But you're gonna have to ignore that and move on. Next is, if you want to set a big goal, understand you might not achieve it, right? And why do I say this? Because if you have this massive goal, it's possible that you fail. And going back to what I said earlier, don't focus so much on just the destination, right? Focus on the journey, the path to get there, because that's where you learn the skills. That's where you're growing. That's when you're expanding yourself. And even if you end up failing, you're still gonna have so much that you learned, and so much that you experienced, and so many failures that you overcame, and lessons you learned. So just try to focus on those more. And then finally, understand that what you think now is the biggest thing ever. You're probably it might not be that important to you 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. Your priorities are going to shift. So make sure that you constantly reevaluate your goals every 6 months, every year, even maybe shorter than that, every month. So just make sure that you understand this goal that you have. It might not be the same thing that you pursue for the next 10, 15, 20 years. So you have to be adaptable with that. And I guess the whole message of this video is try to make sure that you have a plan that you can follow, and make sure that consistently work towards it. And I think it's in Proverbs 2 talking about plans. It says the plan of the diligent leads to prosperity, right? So make sure that every day you have a plan that you're working towards. Every single day you're making sure that you wake up, attack the day with everything you have, give it all you have. Make sure that you experience every day to the fullest, and work towards something. Have a purpose in your life, and don't just scroll your life away. Don't just numb yourself out of your life. Make sure you have this thing that you're working towards every single day. And I hope you guys learned something from this. I was just like sharing what I thought was valuable. I think it's super important that people hear this message, because most people they end up scrolling their whole lives away, and just try to make sure you're working towards something. So yeah.